Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is my reaction to Until Your Bones Rot, chapters 2 to 11. Alright, so, just to be clear, I read chapter 1 in this reaction called, I do a thing called chapter 1s, where I read, like, a bunch of chapter 1s all at once. I will leave the link to that in the description, so you can check out chapter 1 if you just saw this and you're like, oh wow, I want to see him, react to it from the start. So, Until Your Bones Rot, I actually looked up the series, and I was not surprised to find that ah, like the name itself, it means Hone ga Kusaru Mare, which I assume is, yeah, like Hone is bone. So yeah, I don't know Kusaru, but I assume it is rot or like breakdown or whatever. But I noticed here synonyms: stand by me, dear. That is, oh, that's amazing. Because okay, so the reference is that there is a pretty popular, pretty famous coming of age movie known as Stand By Me, which I referenced when I was reading chapter 1 of this. It's also like it's adapted from Stephen King's short story The Body. And like it's very similar to this. It's this whole idea of, well, in this series it seems to be these five kids killed someone and then like buried his body. In The Body, I believe it's literally just they find a body in the woods and they have to, they keep it a secret just because they don't want to talk about it. Yeah, today, 5 years ago, we killed someone. This was so compelling, and I really do love that, like, this is a natural transition to the second night, like, to this chapter. It works well in serialization, and it works really well here. Like, this may have been the only thing in all of Chapter 1's history, and, like, there's a lot of episodes of Chapter 1's that I didn't release, so there is, like, a history to it. It's not just 2 episodes as of right now. But I think it's the only time where I just automatically kept on reading for a bit before realizing, oh shit, wait a minute, no, this is chapter 2. Yeah. So as I said before, clearly there's a head wound here. So, okay, so I read this part. This is all new to me now. Place the proof of your pact on your blood seal. Whoa. Oh, wow. This is so cool. Like, it feels very much like a thing that kids would do, but it also feels like vaguely occult. Like, I don't think they're getting this from somewhere else. I assume that they just made this up. But like, it feels like a thing that I would have made up as a kid. Like, it is very like, it's very ritualistic. Five of us be true to each other no matter what befalls us. Ever we support each other, that like the body that lies within this lightless pit, we take our sin to the grave. This we swear. Looks like it's weighing pretty heavily on him. Yeah, like it is a kiddie ritual. But I think it is really cool in its own way. Like, this is incredibly dark, but at the same time, like, it does feel like something that kids would do. Like, kids are a lot more, there's a lot of things that kids do that in hindsight you're always like, oh wow, that's really messed up. But then you don't think about the fact that, oh, I guess everyone as a kid did something like that at some point. Or, not everyone, but like a lot of people did. Those tiny little things that don't feel like they should belong in childhood are nevertheless something that appears in a lot of people's childhoods. They just think that they're special, that it only happened to them. And that's one of the reasons why we have this incredibly skewed view of what childhood is. Because we don't fully accept that, oh yeah, that's, people do like non-childlike things all the time as kids. And I think in a way this might be healthy for them. I mean, probably not. I feel like the weight of this sin on them is like definitely affecting our boy here. But at the same time, like, there are very few things I've ever done where it's like, yeah, this exact group of friends will always meet up at this time at this place no matter what. Plus the fact that they've vowed to support one another like outside of this thing is pretty cool. The Japanese festival atmosphere is so good, and it's in so many anime and manga that now I feel nostalgic looking at it, even though I've never been to one. That's so weird, isn't it? Right, it's for our alibis. That makes a lot of sense actually. Like, yeah, every single time they do it, they can just say, "Oh yeah, we all wanted to go to this festival." And even if they do it like even as adults, it's still fine because they can still say, "Well, as adults, even though we've moved around and whatnot, we still want to do this thing and meet up with our friends, go to the festival." And that doesn't like erase the concept of an ulterior motive, but like it just makes sense. Especially if they started doing it now and like they let people know, "Oh yeah, it's a thing. We always go to the festival." Like after a point, it goes from being like maybe a weird thing to just being like nostalgic or just, being like a cool thing that you've always done and people won't really question it. The Mysterious Five. Okay, so Shintaro is the one who always like sticks out. I should probably keep this page because I don't know how long. Like, I don't know exactly how the series is going to be split up, but I want to keep an eye on these 5, especially, obviously. But like, if we don't get focus on all of them all the time, then I want to make sure I remember their names at the very least. I really do like this dynamic though, where all 4 of them are incredible standouts. Also, the fact that it's 2 guys, 2 girls, and then Shintaro just feels like, like the weird one out. I think that's very relatable for a lot of people. For like a surprising number of people, because again, like a lot of the time you don't notice like, your own attributes. And I'm not sure if he does have any interesting attributes or not, especially since this is really like cranked up to 11. But I've been in groups where like every single person has thought that they are the one who doesn't have like a defining trait. And then like, at some point it comes out that, oh yeah, you guys all have defining traits, but I don't. And then everyone else says, wait a minute, what? I thought I was the one without defining traits. Have you no shame? Childhood bond became an adult one. It'd be great if you could keep it on the DL. Was it literally just that? Just, oh yeah, we had a gangbang. Now Yama thinks we're a bunch of pervs. But yeah, again, like this is such an easy mistake to just like let someone see you. Well, at the same time, like they could have also been like too sneaky, and then that would have been even more suspicious. Like they need to come up with a better system to get there without anyone noticing. So I don't know who they killed yet. They haven't really given any hints, but I'm assuming in that struggle she got cut. This is really interesting. Like, this doesn't remind me of. Okay, mild Stephen King spoilers. I'll put up my hand, so once I take down my hand, you'll know they're over. So, in It, there's a very similar concept where, like, the loser gang, or fuck, what are they called? I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, the losers, right? They're called the losers. Anyways, like after killing It as kids, they all like break apart. They go their separate ways as adults. And then like one of them, however, like all of them have fairly successful careers except for one of them who just like stays in their hometown as like as a librarian, and a bunch of other stuff happens I don't want to get into just in case someone decided not to heed my hands up warning. But like I always thought that was really cool that like everyone else went out and had successful lives, but the most important person there arguably was the one who like stayed behind and didn't get popular and just like stayed in the city and then eventually called everyone back. And that's kind of what I'm getting right here. Like it seems like because he doesn't stand out at all, because he isn't really like successful in any big way. Like not only was he like probably the most important one during that incident, he might have been the one who like, landed the killing blow. But also, I think because he doesn't stand out, he's able to do something else. And that something else is what is preserving who they are as people. Like because he does something, or because he's like watching out for them, because he's watching out for them, and because he doesn't draw attention to himself, so he can't be like easily found out. Like everyone else is free to succeed in however they want to succeed. Like all of their success in the end stems back to him. And so, despite being the least important in one way, he's the most important to them. Okay, hands down. All right, spoilers are over. I'll probably put in a timestamp so you can skip by that. It's just I really wanted to talk about that. Watch out for Akira Kanzaki. Whoa. Also, this is his house, right? This is his house. So either he wrote that or someone else wrote it in his version specifically. Whoa, they did it? They actually managed to make the summer session optional? That is so weird. That is super cool, though. You should all take initiative and participate anyway. Everyone laughs. That is pretty great. Dang, girl, work it. I want to see. Are you sure you want to be alone with Akira? No need to summer down now. Only in summer. Yeah, what the fuck? I'm pretty sure they're only supposed to do this once a year. Also, I love the way this is written. Like, the fact that they use the word muni for, a municipality. Like, it feels a lot like Stand By Me, or like a Stephen King story. Where, like, everyone speaks not overly casually. Like, it's not like, a Marvel comic. But everyone speaks in a way that feels very natural. Just through, like, little things they say. It feels like, they live in a small town. Wait, what? We didn't dig this deep before. That's right, it was very close to the top. So the body's already been moved. Again, that face, the face he has only ever made after that day. Oh shit. Also, there's a phone in the hole. So someone has to be watching, right? So are they going to be blackmailed now? Hey there, murderers. Oh god. Knows all their names. Oh shit. Wow. What a freak out. Like, yeah, you can't really see it, but I that literally sent a shiver up my back. Like, what a violent way to show just, screaming out of the phone. I was not expecting it like that. I mean, as long as he's still doing weird mind games like this, he can't just turn them into the police, or like this can't be a police setup. It has to be a weird sadist guy. Because if it was just a police setup, they would have busted them like right there and then once they admitted it. Or like they didn't actually admit it. Oh, was it his dad? He'll die at this rate. Okay, then let's kill him. So it was his dad. You couldn't pay me to touch you. You were next to me when I woke up, so I figured you assaulted me in my sleep. And this is the classic blackmail hole. Like, I mean, it's not quite as easy to get out of as something like the classic blackmail hole is the whole like, oh, here are these lewd photos I took of you. You're gonna have to, do this thing with me, or else I'm going to leak them. And then, as you do something lewd with that person, they take video of that. So it's like, okay, well now it's even worse. Now I'll release this one as well, and just it goes deeper and deeper. This is very close to that, but with murder instead of sex. And the problem is also, like I guess the same solution is still there of like it might be better for them to like go to the cops and say fuck it. I guess we're being blackmailed. Someone has the bones, and you just kind of you leave it up to chance. You just hope that they don't have enough information, or that they'll get in worse trouble than you do. Because the alternative is if they do question it, like if they don't, then they could easily have pictures taken of them like destroying this body and getting rid of it, and then they're even deeper in the hole. Disassembly instructions. God, that is actually very disturbing. Right. I think that is honestly the best solution. Like, again, I don't think they're going to buy it, especially because Akira, we have that little thing of, don't trust Akira. But I think this is honestly the best solution. Like, yeah, it's going to fuck up their lives. But also, they don't have to say they killed him. They could just say, hey, there is a body there. We don't know what's going on with it, but this guy said that, he said that he was going to say that we killed him. So, help us find him. And in exchange, like, like, we're going to just deny it. We'll deny everything. Fuck it. We didn't do nothing. If they did that right now, it's completely possible they could get out of it. Or, like, even if the truth comes out, even though they did deny it, at the end, like, it's not as bad as digging yourself deeper. I mean, then again, they do live in Japan. And Japanese law is much stricter when it comes to this kind of thing. Like, with American law, you could actually, like, you probably could say something like, hey, this body that someone says I buried is not mine. But, like, in Japan, the conviction rate is 99%. And, I mean, you cannot have a conviction rate of 99% with a fair legal system, which says a lot about it. I'm getting your secret back no matter what. Okay, this is a pretty good dynamic. Okay, so I think it is genuinely that. Like, they are legitimately just good friends. Like, they killed Shin's dad because he was beating him. And then after that, like, they've taken on all of the sin, in part because of Shin, but they don't blame him for it. Also, I really like that. I didn't appreciate it that much before, but yeah, like, this part of their heads, it's all very distinctive with all of them. So it's very easy to tell who is who. Cover the face, will be fine. Don't think of it as a person. Think of something else. One thing that still really does disturb me is the concept of people not knowing what they're doing when they're doing something gruesome. Like, the idea, I used to think, and I think a lot of people do think that it's scarier if it's someone with, like, anatomical precision, like, a Dexter situation or something. Or, like, a serial killer who has exact knowledge of how to cut someone up perfectly and then destroy them. But I think it's far more disturbing and gross if someone doesn't know what's happening. Or if they're trying to do this, but they have no idea what they're doing. If it's like a comedy of errors. I think that's a million times worse. I don't really have any clues when it comes to, like, the person who's blackmailing them. Like, that seems like it's a complete mystery so far. But the fact that they have, like, such detailed corpse disassembly instructions, these can't be online, right? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised on actually now that I think about it. You could, I've found, like, some information on how to, like, definitely how to kill someone, and then also, like, how to get rid of a body online. But a lot of that stuff isn't like, it's not this specific. Most of it's just generally like, hey, you know, this is what people have done in murder cases, or here's something that theoretically would work really well. It's very rarely like, a step-by-step process on how to disassemble a corpse. Drain as much blood from the neck as possible. Right. Gotta do that halal slaughter. I know that's not actually true. Pretty messed up that someone's entire body fits into a couple bags like that. It seems like they did a very good job of it. Also, if they're not bugged, that is ridiculous timing. Although I guess they have been like resting for a little while. Like we can assume that after they finished up, they've been sitting here for like a few minutes. Oh, they split it up, right? Yeah, 5 different locations. Like at the very least, doesn't seem like they want the kids to be caught. This is very suspicious. Specifically because like they split up in 5 different directions, right? Not only that, he took the bike. Only one person took a bike. One of the places is rather far, so I'd advise that the person take a bike. So everyone else should be within like walking distance of this area, or not like walking distance, but like I guess walking distance. Yeah, they would have to walk there, like walk or run or whatever. But he's the furthest out. I don't. Why would Tsubaki have been able to like finding him would be easy enough. Like they probably all saw all of the locations. And yes, I can definitely assume that she just wandered around for a bit. But why? Like also how? How is it that she was able to walk like let's assume it's a pentacle, so like 5 like equal directions away, and then the 5th one's like extra far. Even if she's at one of the 2 closest points to Shin, she would have had to walk quite a while to get to him. Like if you count her going out to her location and then going out to Shin, it would be like not double, but like a fair bit longer than, Shin's biking. And she doesn't look that tired either. So this is incredibly suspicious to me. I did the worst thing of all that day. I'm not quite sure what she means by that. I mean, I guess she could have been the one who delivered the killing blow because Shin specifically, before I thought he delivered the killing blow, but now we know that it was his dad. So that was probably like, the reason why it all happens. Yeah, I'm the one who's most to blame. That's what he said before. Before I thought that meant like he delivered the killing blow. But what he really means is just it's his dad. It was his dad. So to him, it was all his fault that they had to do that. I've been keeping something from you. Oh no. Okay. Okay, the fact that everyone else came here kind of kills my previous plan, because that would have been an incredibly long distance for everyone else to walk as well. It still feels very bizarre then that they would all like head off in different directions, do their burials. Tsubaki would, or not Tsubaki, Shin would like have a bike and go the furthest, and yet everyone else would be able to specifically go to his place. That's so weird. Yeah, can't blame you. Can't blame you for that. Watch out for Akira Kanzaki. I feel like that's got to be a red herring, though. Especially because it's so clear, and he wasn't the one who wrote it. But it doesn't seem like Akira's done anything like particularly suspicious. Everything's gonna end up tasting like curry. You can't let her. I feel like I'm forgetting something really important. I mean, it's not something he wrote. I doubt it's gonna be Amnesia because that. I mean, it could be, but that doesn't seem right for the series. I want to believe it was someone else, but that means that he had to have brought someone else into his room in order to do that. Also, there's an arrow pointing at him as if Shin would somehow forget who Akira is. Like the arrow was drawn there so that he wouldn't forget the face. Next week, sleepover and the beach. Right. It is a coming of age. Oh no, he's too hot. We're no match for him. And yep, no one. They might harass the girls even more because he spoke up. Looks can be deceiving, you know. Oh my god, beautiful. Actually amazing. What a crushing defeat. What a truly crushing defeat. Right. It isn't true, though. Like, in the end, especially when you're that young, you can't. Like, there's nothing you can do. Like, even when he says, if I'd been a little stronger, I doubt he means, like, if I could have fought back on my own. I think he probably just means, like, oh, I could have stopped the whole thing from happening, but he really couldn't have. Like, that's just life. Yeah, we were the ones who came up with the idea to kill your dad. Plus, I was the one who killed him. Right. Okay, so that's how it worked out. Oh, that's why he meant if I was a bit stronger. It was literally if I had been a little stronger. Like, if I had hit him a little harder, then she wouldn't have had to finish him off. Okay, I get that. That makes a lot more sense. Wait, what? Really? What the fuck? Akira, what the fuck are you doing? God damn, Akira, what are you doing? No, this isn't okay. I guess we can't trust Akira. God damn. Well, that was the series, or that was volume 1. Also, hey, they're actually putting this in here. Oh, wow, I really do love that. I love that they actually, like, there was a full script here, and they actually, like, you know, put the blood thing over it. That is so cool. Ah, yeah, these are definitely handwritten by whoever the murderer is. Also, it has this very strangely, like, fun, positive tone to it. So yeah, it definitely feels more disturbing than anything the kids did. Oh man. Yeah. So that was the rest of the chapters of Until Your Bones Rots. And so altogether, I've reacted to all of Volume 1. What a series. Oh man. So of everyone, I really like the dynamics of the series. I don't really know what else I want from it though. Like, I really like the slow burn we're getting. Like, if we didn't have the extra murderer, I think we could have just, like, it would have been a good series with just, like, the slow breakdown of these friends. But then, at the same way, I think having the murderer there, like, having this outside party that puts pressure on them, is better because, like, it means that they don't have to fall apart from within. Like, clearly, Akira is not, he's not the cool guy we all think he is. He is a shitty person who would, you know, who would rape a girl. But at the same time, like, I like the fact that apart from that, and it feels so weird to say apart from that because that's a really big thing that should not be, like, it should not be toned down or, like, you know, made light of. But goddamn, it it feels like apart from that, everyone is, like, you know, very strong. Like, they all have powerful friendships that probably would not have fallen apart very easily. Like, you know, love may have part of, you know, something to do with it, but I think, like, if it wasn't for this murderer, like, shaking things up, they could have probably kept that status quo for a long time. So I don't really have any ideas of what they're going to do. I assume we're just going to learn more about, you know, the murder itself. Like, we've seen basically all we need to see about it, but I think we're going to get a bit more. And then, like, maybe we'll have to participate in more, like, cleanups. I can't think of what else. Like, the only real hint we have is that the murderer here sounds kind of like Shin's dad. So it could be like Shin's uncle, maybe? Yeah, I don't really have much else to say, except I'm excited to see what's next, but at the same time, I'm kind of satisfied. So it's probably going to be a bit before I get to the next volume. But until then, bye for now. Yeah, yeah.